so that we can power the damn thing and make a bunch more progress. We're also going to make a bunch of Molotovs in this episode, but first I want to try to warm up with one quick round in the training grounds, just so that I'm well accustomed to how this game plays, because in my own time, I've been playing a bit of DBD, I've been playing a bit of COD Cold War, playing a bit of, or rather a lot of Black Ops 3. That's my air fryer. Oh boy, my food's ready. I'll pick that up in just a little bit, but for now, we're just going to go in with the shotgun, nothing else. We're just going to full load, full send, and we're just going to do one quick run, using up all the shells. There has been a few occurrences in my own time where one of the barrels is really difficult to either tip over. I likely haven't figured out a way to do that, but we'll try to avoid that occurrence from happening. So, let's just start. That's 1, 2, 3. That's the bomb. And that's 4. We'll need to reload after this one. So I'm actually reheating some day-old McDonald's. Day-old meaning I got it last night at like 1 in the morning. But I only ate half my order because of that reason that, well, if I'm buying food now, I might as well get food for myself later. Or at least have enough food to reheat later. That way I don't have to go out like twice in one day because it's been warming up outside. And I have a couple of other things that I want to do. Alright, I figure that should be enough. Let's just take everything else. Try to cleanly get through this next section. Cool. That's 1, and that's 2. Just drag everything out of the way. I'm a little confused on how this part gets stuck, actually. But, well, it's probably just the way the wooden bits gib. It's probably like a Gmod term or something like that. Something like that. Barrel, why? I see now why PewDiePie doesn't like you, because you don't like to agree. Oh, man. Alright. Reline, re-roll, and we fucked it up. No worries. Gonna be like literally 30 seconds of me struggling trying to put in this barrel through the hole. There's a sex joke in here somewhere, but I'm still trying to look for it. Oh wait. Alright. This works. Probably. There you go. Let's get rid of that one. We're not gonna worry about those other two. Just trying to get used to the game's movement one more time, because I've been playing a lot more fast-paced games, and this game is the complete opposite of that. Super slow-paced, methodical, and a lot of time taken just to try to think on what am I going to do next. Now that the course is open, we have a bunch of targets still left up. We could still try to make do and keep our skill sharp. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. I'm pretty sure I hit. I feel like I didn't, but whatever. Five, 6, and then we're just gonna run through. Under 30 seconds. Load another 6. That's 1, 2, 3. 4. That one did hit. Cool. Good to know. I think after this little training section, I'm gonna go pick up my food, get a bag of cheese, because I had a comment on one of my videos saying that, like, oh man, they actually replied to me saying, like, comment down your favorite type of cheese. And I was like, I feel super inclined to upkeep what I said in that same comment about I'm gonna have this episode where I'm just gonna eat a bag of cheese while I do it. That genuinely sounds fun, so I'm gonna just do that. If that sounds awkward or off-putting to you, then honestly, what's wrong with cheese? Nothing's wrong with cheese. Cheese is great. Besides, I want to do both, and I don't want to wait for some imagined perfect set of conditions to record, because straight up, if I wait for everything to be perfect, nothing's gonna get done. So, it is what it is, as the moment is now. And we're out of shells. We have bullets, but that's not what we're here for. So, I will leave the recording on, go get my food from the air fryer, because I think that's the best way to reheat nuggets, aside from a conventional oven. So, before I do that, I want to attempt to recall from our last episode. It's been a while since our recording. Like, straight up, I'm recording this on, it's the 21st. Today's a Friday. And it's been well over, let's see, 6 minus 21. Oh man, I can't do math today. It's been well over 15 days, at least 2 weeks. So, a lot of time. But I'll leave this recording going. It's probably going to take like a minute or so, but I'm going to get up from my desk, go into my kitchen, and get some food, and hopefully the recording can still pick up my voice from across the room. Oh, man. Alright, so now I have a bowl of just reheated chicken nuggets and fries. Big ass bag of cheese that I'll probably unruffle later in the video. And some sauces, because sauces makes almost everything a little bit better. I'm gonna wash my hands before I start eating, because I think it'd be pretty weird if I'm eating on the keys that I'm playing with. Alright. Food check. I have a bag of cheese. The bag of cheese I'm eating is actually what? Let me look at the bag and describe it to the microphone here. It's one of those 4-cheese Mexican mixes, where it's like has Monterey Jack, cheddar, asadero, and queso quesadilla cheeses. Like how I say in Spanish and then proceed to butcher that same Spanish in the same sentence. I hope you enjoy that. So, I'm going to open one of these sauces, and then we're just going to start playing. This will be fun. That sounded weird. Anyway. So, this entire episode is going to be a long section of trying to accumulate resources as safe as possible while attempting to evade Big Stalker Guy, while I'm trying to plan a really good setup for the last bit of this game sequence. Like, believe it or not, we're actually close to the end of the game. There's probably a big reason why there's a big gap between videos and a different stance towards content. But I still want to at least... Right, it's been a while, so I forgot, like, the high level of danger we were probably in. Take off the mask. Cool. So let's get our bearings. We'll eat a nugget or so, and then we'll try to remember where we left off. I like to think that this is part of the fun, because if I were to immediately remember from the last episode, I would rather just stream the damn game than make a video. But making videos is a bit easier on my end because, well, I get to decide the process and how it goes, but it's still fun all the same. So let me see. Let me eat a nugget. Oh, this one's hot. Genuinely, reheating nuggets with an air fryer, would recommend. Pretty good. Pretty quick and easy way to just store, like, what would be perceived as cheap food. Now notice during the entire time the safe room music did not play. It is mildly concerning. So, we need to get a bunch of fuel. Why? Because we need enough time in the fuel to get to Arsenal to trigger the thing that drains the water to get access to the tunnels. We already have the map of the tunnels and we already know what the layout looks like. So we'll enter through this little section. We'll come out this here. There's actually a save lamp here and other iterations of the custom settings. But because we're playing on min-maxed, it's not going to exist there. So it's going to be a one full run that'll do the entire section of the tunnels. And then the last few segments of the game that I will showcase there. But we're not there yet. First, we got to worry about actually setting up. So first, we just got to get a bunch of fuel from the fuel storage, make a lot of trips from the wine cellar, and try to do that without arousing too much suspicion or attention. Let me check the gun. You have nothing in it. Awesome. We'll leave the gun behind because it's essentially a big paperweight. And we're going to try to full send in terms of bottles to fuel ratio, because the more trips we do, the better setup we will be. And I honestly kind of doubt that we're going to run into a lot of trouble this episode, because we're mostly going to be talking and playing it safe, but that's going to be the main focus of today's video. We're just going to be trying to do a bunch of fuel runs to prepare for the next episode, where we end off this series with a big shebang, with a big creative spin on something that I'm pretty sure the developers might have thought once, but I see possibility in. I'll talk more about that in that next episode, but let's just start walking towards the pantry, and we'll see from there. So let's see. Nice empty dark halls, and the familiar feeling of war. Right. Cool. So let's see. All right. I keep forgetting that this save has the supernatural forces of the gas still being here, despite the gas can being moved. I still want to respect it, because it's like, well, gas is gas, and I'm not really going to take any chances, especially when the run is a min-maxed one. So we'll play it by the ear. But we still have that initial start leeway that I want to feel that is still active, the grace period, until we start picking up important stuff or we start making too much noise. Well, now we'll take off the mask. Pretty good. So let's see. You know, 2 years ago, I actually had a celebration akin to Thanksgiving. It was meant to celebrate, like, the entirety of what how to say this? Of what my old group used to stand for, because I tried to curate a community where everyone felt safe and they had a place to share their stuff. And I kind of wanted to use my birthday as that whole celebratory thing. Like, genuinely, I named it Friendsgiving, even though it took place on the same day of my birthday. Because in my eyes, I was doing it for them, but subconsciously, I was excluding myself out of my own birthday. I remember this quite clearly because I was one of the few sober people in the entire party. Like, the entire idea of Friendsgiving would be this potluck. Like, everyone agreed to bring some food, but it would be just like a kickback, or at least that's what my friends called it, but a lot bigger. We also chose a movie to watch. I think I chose it, I don't remember, but it was around the time when Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was out. And Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is honestly an S-tier movie. Wholeheartedly beloved movie. It rounds out the Rocket's character arc wholeheartedly excellently. Excellent storytelling all around. But that movie, it's very personal to me because the entirety of how Rocket's life was kind of mirrored my experiences and I really wanted to try to actually, like, tell them, hey, this is what I went through, and this is how my life felt. It felt like I was some sort of an experiment. But in truth, I was experimenting on myself to try to understand myself better. At least in different ways that I only knew how. But what would be a memorable birthday pretty much turned out to be a really difficult day for me. I expended so much of my own energy. A lot of people just treated it like a normal hangout, and very few people remember the birthday aspect of it. Like, Mars, for instance, actually was kind enough to give me a cake, which is really, really sweet of them. And a year after, like, what is it? When I turned 23, my best friend at the time, she texted one of my other best friends, and they were super kind enough to give me a nice red velvet cake that had a really... It was like a cheesecake. It was super, super good. And that cheesecake... Oh my god, it was so amazing. That lasted probably for like 2 days, but it was genuine, like, it was such a nice gesture that I didn't forget. The fact that, like, oh, I know it's your day, and, like, you've been going through some stuff. I wanted to at least ask you so that the people that are hanging out with you would at least partake in getting you a cake. Something super nice. I have a lot of weird things with my birthday because, as a trend in my life, my birthdays have gotten noticeably smaller as I went through my teen years into my adulthood, I suppose. My young adulthood. Eating another nugget right now. So yeah, with Friendsgiving in particular, I woke up super early. We set aside the day, but everyone shows up at different times. I don't really have a problem with that, because it's like, well, I just wanted people to show up. But the difficult part was the fact that me and my mom, we decided to make this mix with potatoes and chorizo. I call it chorizo mix. I also call it taquitos when I make them from said mix into, like, I wrap them in the tortilla and then fry them. It's like a really good meal that's pretty cost efficient, really, really great, and wholeheartedly filling. And I decided to cook that for them, and it was genuinely like a labor of love. Because it's like, hey, this tastes really good. I'm always taking pictures about how this food's tasting good. I want you guys to experience it with me. And I did that. I cooked for them. I literally brought a lot of my own supplies into one of my other best friends' house. Who's, like, I really hope he's doing alright. But, that same best friend, his name is Joseph. He was super kind to allow us to use his living room for most hangouts. Like, honestly, it was super underrated. His space was always so welcome. It felt like home. And it felt like a fun sleepover. Every single time, like, we always hung out at this place. But... like, I remember making an impression on his family that, like, oh, your friends never come over and cook. And it's like, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to introduce that culture. It's like, hey, let me come over to your house, cook you a meal, and we can hang out. And I really think that type of culture is a really genuine genius idea, because it's like, there is literally nothing bad about, hey, I want to cook this meal for you. Like, I feel like cooking for you because, like, usually I would make this for myself, but I feel better if I'm able to share this food with you. In that same Friendsgiving day, the night prior, we prepared the mix. We pre-rolled all the taquitos so that I could easily just start frying them in 30 minutes. We will watch the movie, play some games. One of the friends, they brought... what is it? One of the friends, while they were still in the group, they brought pizza. Another friend who showed up a bit late, they brought ramen. They brought, like, fried chicken. I think it was fried chicken. I don't remember. But they brought ramen. Like, it was a really nice gesture. And we took some home because the timing of, oh, we have a bunch of food and not enough time in the day. My only gripes with that day, there are a few, but they're quite significant. The ones I'll talk about related to me is just, well, despite the fact that I set aside the time and the day to cook and prepare, it genuinely didn't feel like I was able to actually enjoy the day that was supposed to be my birthday. And that's honestly a mistake that I should have never made. because that kind of just told everyone subconsciously, oh, I don't value my own birthday. Which is really sad because, like, I spent a long time trying to make myself smaller for other people, and no more. No, I'm fucking done with that. Because everyone in that Friendsgiving day, they were all super cool. They were all super chill. But, like, no one wanted to watch the movie that I wanted to watch, or at least pay attention to it. There's that culture of, like, oh, you know, it's perfectly fine to be quiet during the movie, perfectly fine to talk during it. But I was hoping that they would also pay attention to it, and I was able to have the space to talk about it. But because of how I was so burnt out from literally preparing Friendsgiving and then some, it was, like, too much for me. I hit a sensory overload, and I started breaking down in the middle of my own birthday after being told, like, happy birthday and blowing up the candle. Like, it was just so much, and I had a breakdown because I didn't give myself the time to just be me. I didn't allow myself the time to just put all the walls that I spent years putting up down and to actually be vulnerable around that group of friends, because it felt like everyone was talking over the space that I wanted to curate for myself. I just never gave them the indication that, hey, this space is for me too. And as much as I love my friends for being my friends, the fact that I broke down in front of everyone and everyone was pretty dead silent because they didn't know how to react or understand what was happening, while understandable, it was a lot. And Friendsgiving was supposed to be for me because I wanted to tell everyone my own experiences and connections towards Rocket Raccoon, the character, to myself, and be honest about it. But that time never came. Because that same day, I actually left my own Friendsgiving early. Because it was during a time where I worked with my mom as my transport. Where it's like, okay, I don't want my mom to worry about me too much. So we'll agree on a drop-off date and a pickup, or a drop-off time and a pickup time. But because of everyone else's schedules being different and living in different locations, I got the shit end of the stick on my own birthday. Well, everyone else just got a place full of cooked food, a hangout already set for them, and I had to leave early on my own birthday. And that's what upset me the most. But, like, it's really difficult to, like, talk about this specific thing. But that's what started the initial resentment towards the entire group, if I'll be honest with you. Because, like, I've done this extreme effort for them, and the effort I would hope to see reciprocated is not being seen back at them. He's over there. I better play safe. So yeah, while he's over there roaming around, I'm gonna eat a fry. This fry is super crunchy. Why? Because it's scorched to hell. So we're utilizing our setup from before we left off from the last episode. We have 2 mollies here, and we have 1 on hand. On the off-hand chance we get spotted, because we can immediately, like, throw it at him and be safe. Because Molotovs are pretty much instant. Walking carefully to utilize the time while he's in the walls, and we're out scot-free. Cool. Anything to avoid detection, because this is literally gen talk. Like, I'm walking back and forth, getting fuel for the generator. But I wanted to talk about Friendsgiving because it's, like, such a pivotal moment that happened 2 years ago that, like, I'm surprised that, well, I'm not surprised, actually. A lot of people were drinking during that day, and Like a handful of the group got high because like someone brought something little special, you know. But I wanted to remain sober because it was supposed to be like a Thanksgiving sort of thing. It was supposed to be like a very special day, and everyone being everyone, and then how they are, they're like, oh, usual hangout like it's a Discord call. But I also kind of wanted them to just watch the movie and experience it with me, to kind of have that quiet moment, because I always struggled with trying to ask someone like, hey, do you have a moment? Can I talk about this thing with you? Like, asking for help for me as a person is a really difficult thing. I'm not saying that it's impossible. Excuse me. I'm just saying that it's really difficult for someone like me who has been through the throes of isolation for an extended period of time, dealing with a lot of their problems on their own, solving them in a creative way, and helping other people with their problems. It is really hard because you get raised in this mindset of what's it called? Hyper independency. Yeah, that's the term I want to use for it. You become super independent and self-reliant that it's so difficult to consider the notion of relying on someone else that pretty much bars you from trying to make new connections. But I don't want to let that, like, I suppose I'll call it truth, to stop me. Because that is just an effect of the isolation. Like, I'm genuinely, I've cultivated a deep appreciation for my own presence, and my own silence, and for everything that is who I know to be me, while attempting to treat my past experiences the same way, because every experience I've had from my birth till now, till the day that you're seeing this video, is the fact that it all shaped who I am today. I have to love all of my experiences because I can't hate a single one. They made me the way who I am. And there's a certain tenderness to that. There's a certain gentleness in that, and I want to try to maintain that. I want to try to keep that, like, true, like, gold-hearted nature within myself, child at heart, and maintain that best I can. Because that's who I figure my real self is before the world got its mitts on me, changing who they deemed that this person that's talking to you through this video should be. And it's like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing, man. So, back to the friends and Friendsgiving. Albert Einstein once quoted that if this is the thanks that your country gives you after serving them for so long, then you should tell them to go to hell. Because when they punish you enough and they tell me that all is forgiven, it won't be for me. It will be for them. It will be them trying to forgive themselves for their shitty actions that they have done. And me, oh hell, I'm unbothered at this point. If I'm trying to talk about the super serious shit in a real scenario where it's like there's a big scary monster out there, do you really think that I'm afraid to really say anything else? No. This is the perfect setting to actually talk about this stuff, because it's either I keep my cool, my composure, my focus, or I die. So, and this is a perfect iteration of that. See? I force him to come out, therefore I know where he is. I put away the flashlight, reducing detection. I crouch, hold my Molotov in hand. He seems distracted. We're gonna move around and we should be safe, scot-free. Yep, he's heading towards the pillbox area, and we have at least 20 bottles of fuel. This was over the span of, I don't know, 15 minutes? Like a really short talk? But even still, I'm just amused at the skills that I'm capable of utilizing, and I'm able to showcase within this experience, this video, this game, and my entire life. I choose not to let any of my past experiences deter me, but I will talk about them because they still impacted me, and the truth, no matter what it is, deserves to be heard. Because that's the thing. A truth is a truth, no matter if you believe it or not, and a lie is a lie, no matter if you believe it or not. The same thing with science. And when I want to try to tell everyone, to get them to understand why I did the things that I did, I want them to take a long step back and look at the big picture of the history of the group and try to reason that, am I really insane for exploding the way I did if for 2 birthdays in a row dare I say 3 birthdays in a row felt like the worst birthdays I've ever fucking had. The first birthday I spent with Matt, that was honestly the best birthday compared to those two. Those 2 recent birthdays. Because those 2 birthdays was literally just me and him sharing a beer. Because I literally turned 21. The year after that was supposed to be Friendsgiving. And I had a meltdown and I couldn't enjoy the day that I provided and cooked for everyone. And everyone just took and said, "Oh yeah man, thanks for the food." And nothing else. It was easily forgotten, swept under the rug as if it's just a normal hangout. And, well, what a damn shame. Because everything I've done was undeniable proof that I cared so much so about that group of friends, and this is the treatment I get at the very end. So I'm telling him, I'll see you in hell. Because I'm not the one that's being punished. I'm the punishment. And they'll see that someday. But I'm not going to hold my breath for that. Because we fully maxed out the generator. We have ample supply for fuel bottles and Molotovs. Now begins the great hunt for cloth. Let me hear if he's out there. He's not. So let's see. Let's attempt to drain the thing. We can at least clear out the route to tunnels if we feel so inclined. Let me think on this for a second. Let me think. Let's go get Al Claire's stuff from mission storage before we do anything else. And then let me seeing as how we've made a bunch of generator progress with minimal I guess deterrents or things to worry about, we can try the tunnel section, and I have an idea on how I want to go about it. Typically the game tries to present that section as, oh, you have a dude that has a shotgun that doesn't understand that you're sane and he's insane. Are you forced to kill him? Short answer is no. It's just easier to kill him because he's trying to kill you, because he doesn't understand that you're not a threat. Because, well, I'll show it to you when we get down there. But that's pretty much the general gist. That will be expanded upon when we make our way there. We got a bullet and a medkit. Awesome. And we have a guaranteed full heal we'll take with us, because I don't know if I'm going to live a single shotgun blast. I don't want to test that theory, because I would rather just make a bit of noise somewhere else, get what I'm there for, and then leave. Because if I were to put the same guy that can't perceive friend from foe into the same light as the beast that stalks between the walls, then maybe they can function the same way, and I can work around them the same way if they react to various noises. So we'll take these two. We'll take a Molotov. We'll have to search a bit more, but I think we should be fine. We'll take the gun. We'll load it once, because I believe the bullet could be useful later. Good. We'll leave the gun here. Alright. Let's take a fuel bottle. We'll save, because this has been ample progress. That is quite positive for this episode. And now that you see, since we've opened up the entire map, the game is a lot easier to traverse, and there's a lot more freedom on what you can do, but the end goal still remains the same. I don't wish to remain in this bunker forever, but I still would like to show some appreciation for what this game has taught me. Self-reliance in its purest form. Or at least, in a very creative way. Deep appreciation for the medium of video games because of how they tell stories. The lessons that you can learn from them. Because I disagree that there's only one way of learning, through a book or through a teacher. Technically, you're learning as you live life. That is a constant. So if you're always learning and understanding and discerning what information you're looking at, then that's how you can think critically. That's how you can make discernible decisions that most don't seem to make. Like when you're told that you're in a hurry and you need to do this, but you see time passing and nothing really happening, is there really a hurry? If all the work that you're doing is still adding up to this big goal of escaping, are you really wasting time? Short answer is no. All of this effort is adding up towards the big goal of escaping this bunker. Chicken nugget. I will now grab this bag of cheese and shovel a handful in my mouth for that one guy who commented. This is for you. I forget your username, but if you're watching this video when I post it, this one's for you, man. Oh, it was so good. I spilt cheese all over my shorts, but that was worth it. Cheese is amazing, man. I'm gonna take another nugget, dip it in the sauce. Pretty good, pretty good. So with this game's rules, you can consider that you are loud when you're trying to be quiet. The monster's louder than you, but the monster's trying to listen for you. Utilizing that knowledge, you can decide when to be loud and when to be quiet. Sometimes you can be loud on purpose to drag, which is a useful critical thinking skill that I've come up with. I'm sure other people can come up with the same things. Now, you may have noticed I didn't turn on the generator at all. That's because I wanted to walk over here to get a familiar feel of this section before I go back to actually commit to this next bit. Because this room occasionally has supplies, but it more is revealed when that water is down. Yeah, and there's the thing. So it's literally turn on power, walk over here, trigger this little engine looking thing with the light on it. It's this lever here. He's outside somewhere. So let's hide in the water for a little bit, since we can be stealthy in here. I'll eat another chicken nugget while we're waiting. Sounds like he's going towards the big arsenal warehouse area. Yep. It sounds like he's definitely in the other room, so we should be safe. In the last episode, we made sure to burn this rat corpse, because the noises rats make does trigger him to notice, or the monster to notice, and he will investigate. Alright, cool. Because I think it's really smart to attempt to dot your most common areas with your own resources, which is exactly what I've done here. So that if you're ever in a pinch for whatever reason, because if you're facing an enemy that is the equivalent of your intelligence trying to kill you, then you need to be more creative than your enemy, who strikes as a simple-minded killing machine. But you know deep down through the lore, that's actually your brother in arms. A simple truth that you have to accept later on. So let's test some theories. I'm bringing a fuel bottle. Why? Because it's still a throwable. I will need something to throw. I do not think the meat will make a lot of noise, but the sound of glass shattering seems to do the trick. Use a flare. Maybe that hissing will do something against the guy who has a shotgun. Just because the power is on doesn't mean that I have to make a lot of noise, but it does mean that I do have more of a grace period to kind of roam around and run. Past the loading zone, we're going to keep our ample walk towards Arsenal, because slow and steady wins the race. Now, I have no expectations that by the time we're done with the tunnel section, we'll have power, but that's never stopped us before. I'm not sure if this room can be considered a loop, but that layout looks like it could be, just in case if the monster is here. Yeah, we need the water drained so that we can actually push this box, which is impossible to push due to that board. There you go. And you see that light? The light's actually another lantern. This is actually another save point. I could freely use the save here if I find bottles. But we shall see. I will save here regardless because it doesn't hurt to save. Let the lights out when I reach land. And that's a save. We have 2 bottles and... oh. Oh. Those are eyes. So this guy, his name is Toussaint. He's a guy that has a poem that's somewhere, but it's a man that went insane. Sanity is such a fickle thing. But, no worries. We know ourselves, so we shall be fine. I will leave the medkit here and take the second bottle. You have a high chance of actually getting ammo in this area. Just gotta look around every nook and cranny for it, because ammo can be easily be missed. That's our friend, the T handle. We're gonna save the letter T, guys. Shame about your head. This is some real Dead by Daylight stuff here, guys. This is actually tied to the other Amnesia game, Rebirth. And I like to think that all the Amnesia games are connected in their own timeline. This game is just the modern iteration of it because... Better be careful. This is a beautiful singing voice. So what I like to do is before I open the next door, so I like to prepare the exit as soon as possible. With this one, I like to try to push it forward.
So here I stay, down on my knees.
So you see silhouettes walking around, but you're technically not in any danger. Not until you cross that threshold of that door. But a lot of the silhouettes, they reminisce the previous monsters in the Amnesia series. As far as I could tell. But the shadows themselves makes it very confusing to actually fight this guy. So I'm moving this thing here for this reason. Because it looks like you can't climb this wall, but you can actually climb that section. And this is me just trying to play this thing super smart, while trying to use minimal resources. Because, hey man, if I'm gonna die in the one shot, and I play through this section normally, it's either gonna be me or him, or I could just get what I'm here for, and then leave him to be alive, to hopefully give the ending a bit of a brighter turn, at least my interpretation of it. So let's see. There's actually a lot of supplies here we can grab, but trying to be careful about it. Shotgun shell. Super nice. And that's how you know he's not going to be friendly to you. Let's see. He's in the distance. Oh, he's shooting the doors down, but I don't know if he's gonna round in front of me or my left. Hardest part is that I can't easily tell because of the silhouette's footsteps.
What will come next? Come out wherever you are! Maybe some kind end.
We'll be over here. Yeah.
More likely, another whistle. Magic! That
He hears that. Now I have what I came here for. Now we just gotta leave with our lives intact.
scene. The world we world. It all gets lost and still we twirl.
Trying to correctly gauge where.
The world we whirl.
Because the truth is, I know I could easily kill him. I'm just choosing not to.
Lost in a terrible twirl. Can't see the sun for all the black smoke. Can't see the dirt for all the dead folk. Can't see.
Actually, I have no idea if this guy could actually show up out here. But if you recognize this place from the beginning of the game, this is where you actually save your brother in arm. Followed by the very canteen that you got the water from and fed him. And if you read his notes, you find a little rabbit toy that he was saving for his kid back home. Hoping that he would bring him a gift from the front lines. The bunny's use is essentially a get out of jail free card. Or a card of jail free for those that are... For those who know that little silly thing that I just said. You throw it at him, he'll be inclined to pick it up, and he'll be just be inclined to leave. You can then pick up the free card of jail free in the chapel, because, hey man, people gotta believe in something. But you could still use this thing as a method of the last section, which we will get to maybe this episode, maybe the next one. I don't know. We just gotta worry about what's happening now. Guy's still alive, he sounds super close, and we gotta push back in. He's like dead in front of me or so. There he is. The hard part is actually just getting out, because if I incorrectly dropped the boxes, but that's okay.
A friend-stained armband. The news of the day. Stay. Singing and singing. We were the world, the world.
And like that, I'm out. Like LeBro's got no eyes, he ain't gonna find the exit.
Igor gets
And we get the net gain of 2 shotgun shells. The one in the locker. Yeah, well, I'm finished with you, mate. Whatever, man. Keep on... Yep. Whatever, man. Whatever you say. Look at that. We have our make it still. We have this thing. All is good. Let's quickly go back. We can't save because we lack a fuel bottle. But that's okay. As long as we get back to admin, we can save. And the rest of the game is in our hands. Whatever we prepare will lead us to the last section of the game. In my honest opinion, that shotgun sequence with the shotgunner, genuinely difficult their first time through. But once you've actually explored the map to the best of your ability, you will have a lot of supplies to deal with that situation that is a more difficult cat and mouse game than the one you're always presented back in the bunker. I think the power's off. Yeah, power is off. Cool. So I would like to do the next section with at least 3 Molotovs in hand, at least 3 grenades, which we do have. We have a combined total of 3 rounds, 1 pistol round, and 2 shotgun shells. We have a gas mask or whatever, and we still have gas grenades. And we also have ample healing. But this essentially is the home stretch. The hardest section was already dealt with, now we're on to the home stretch. We will need to ensure progress by saving. Right. We have our fuel bottles over there. Look at that. We managed to get through what would be a very stress-inducing situation as calm as possible, because we maintained our cool, calm demeanor, keeping our nerves of steel, still nerves of steel, you know? All is well. I am quite accustomed to facing adversity. So much so that, well, it's nothing new to me. But look at that. The full map explored. All that's left is just this funny little circle. We have this thing. We could put the detonator handle. We have the dynamite. Let's go set up. And then figure out where we left off. 1, 2, 3. Alright, cool. So in our shotgun, we should have 2 rounds left. We have 1 in here. Look at that. Inside the note is his side. I'll let him talk.
Up again, in the chapel, trying to pray, but my mind is too alive with thoughts of the crater, the rabbit, and that water, its taste. And yet I don't feel tired. Instead I feel this itch, the sense that there are things I must do. Purpose. A bloody purpose higher than any of man's petty wars. 13th July 1916. Morning. Everyone's talking about hearing scratching at the walls. Tremblay even claims to have heard howls echoing through the barracks. I feel strange myself. Can barely find the words to write. My hands feel so odd. Gnarled. Bulbous. Like they don't belong to me. I hesitate to write this, but a thought keeps echoing in my head. A thought I must not act on. A bloody thought so seductive. It calls. It calls. It calls. 15th July 1916. Madness in the barracks this morning. Renard's dead. They say murder, but will not show us the body. A dream rises in my mind. Countless cruel eyes upon me. Must check on Henri. Wish he would wake. Could use a friend. My prayers remain unanswered. 18th July 1916. Blood on my hands. Blood on my hands. Blood on my hands. Their pain. I want more of it. I can hear Tremblay now. Coming closer. 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 I can get what I want from him.
So my own 2 cents on this whole situation is the fact that your brother-in-arms turns into this monster because the main character decided to play a sleight of hand trick on him because bro didn't want to do his duty of having a patrol or whatever. So he tries to cheat his friend. His friend gets in trouble for being cheated on, as in with the little game of dice that they played. So Lambert's in trouble. Henry goes to save him. He finds him, gives him the water because it's like, oh fuck man, it's all my fault. I can't believe that like I'm the reason why that you had to go on this when it should have been me. I imagine Henry is actually super fucking guilty. And now he's seeing the aftermath of what he did after the post-explosion from the prologue. The very monster that's hunting you is your own brother in arm. The own friend that you rescued. And now you have to make a hard decision. Knowing that this is what he is now. And you have to put him down. He's patrolling through the walls, or the halls. I need to wait here. He's by prison? That sounds far, it doesn't sound close. Yeah, he was patrolling the halls just because. But you know that he's probably looking around for you. Because he obviously in his mind realizes that the main character is the reason why that he's this way. And maybe the way to atone for that is to see if this person that has amnesia can save 2 lives, one of an enemy soldier and one of his own fellow soldiers, in the form of compensation for playing a sleight of hand trick on his best friend, for playing some deceptive trick on someone he likely gives 2 shits about. And maybe that'll even the odds. Maybe then will he be cleansed from this nightmare. At least, that's how I like to interpret it. Comment down below your own reasonings if you resonate with that. So, because he's still roaming, we might need to drag him to another area. That way we can have this main section clear and we could put down the 2 important key items. That way we have the space for the 2 grenades. Then we'll need to figure out Molotovs. I'll likely ditch the gas mask for more Molotovs, but we need to find more cloths for that. So let's try to drag him. Because if we were to check prison now, that German prisoner is still alive. We know that that Hassan is still alive because we literally left him alive because he tried to kill us. And now we have a defense of our own, which is great. Because I've thought of a way to think about doing the impossible. Saving 2 people that the game leaves as options for you to kill. For whatever reason. In order to make up for the transgressions that this guy's done. Alright, he's dragged. Let's go put our key items over there. And let's keep going. Pretty good. Just take it slow and steady. No reason to rush, no reason to make noise. Where's that coming from? He's right there. Okay. Well, we still have the 2 key items. Let's at least look for bandages, because we're gonna have to do it anyway, but at least we know where they are. I'll leave the pistol bullet here. Not this room, but is it this room? Yeah, it is. That's fully cleared. Okay. We have meds, but we just don't have cloths. Rags. Bandages. It's another grenade. Might as well grab it since it's here. There's a bottle over here. Interesting. Oops. That was weird. The biggest reason why I want 3 Molotovs is because better safe than sorry. It's area denial that is a one-use item. The grenades are also additional chances. Because there's a specific way I want the last sequence to go, and I know how to do it. It's just scrounging up the supplies to make it happen. He's near-ish. Okay. For any of these horror type games, I like to try to play without a cam on, just so that the experience is more immersive, because I want this experience to be experienced with me. That you're kind of also listening to my thoughts as the game unfolds, that, hey, this is what you clicked on. Hope you enjoy what you see. Leave a like if you like the video. Alright, let's go check maintenance, see if there's anything else we can grab there. Well, we'll leave the grenade here, actually. On our way that we know where it is. We have other Molotovs, that's why we're heading to maintenance. See? Sometimes my memory benefits me later. By forgetting the now. We don't need the cloths because we already have the Molotovs made. Technically, we already have all the items, we just now need to regather them. We don't really need to do a bunch of extra work because we've already done the work. And that's what all those previous episodes were. Putting important things in important places because we would eventually have to come back for them, but preparing for other potential contingencies that this game likes to throw at me. One, two, then 3. We have 4 mollies. That's awesome. Let's take them back. Let's get the grenades after we do like another trip. And then we'll try to put down the key items and try to prepare for that last sequence. He's down the hall. How far? Will he around the corner? Let me back. Interesting. Have to play it safe, have to play it cautious. He's in the walls, let's move. Let's hold. He's gonna appear to our left. He went further. Wow, that's interesting. Let's hold a little toy so that I feel better. just because I'm able to be composed doesn't mean that I'm afraid. No, I'm actually very scared. But I'm just really good at trying to maintain my composure. Staying calm in the face of adversity. Hello, Alex. I hope you're feeling safe. Why, thank you, Rabbit. He's over there, but where? Is he downstairs? Answer is yes. He turned around. He's heading towards me. He's blocking the only choke that we have left. So I have another idea since we have the fire. Now it's either I can expend the current things I need to have 2 loops, which honestly would be smarter, or I could just be patient and we could one-shot this shit. But we have to play it safe. And like that, we evaded. Pretty good. Because I could expend those 2 Molotovs, but what are the odds of me getting more bandages, especially on a min-max run where it has minimal resources and big man Lambert is super maxed and beefy. I could go for some cheesecake right now. Alright. Awesome. We have our grenade here still. We'll come back for it. And like that, we're safe. My only concern with the dynamite section is that why are they placing it here instead of inside the rubble? Then again, maybe they just assumed big explosion would clear out rubble. When this explosion and its radius doesn't look like it would do shit, it needs to be further, at least up in there. That's only my 2 cents on how explosives handling is, but desperate situations probably call for desperate measures, because I imagine Henry is feeling super relieved that, like, oh yeah, I got the dynamite, I got the detonator stick, all is good, man. It's all good, man. It's like a lawyer on like a really funny show. We have 4 mollies, that's great. Let's make a run to get back. I'll leave the shotgun here. We'll take the pistol for now. So we're gonna go back for the grenades, and then we'll be ready for this next section. We will save before it, because I want to see if I can pull off what it is I'm thinking about, but we shall see. He's inside the pantry area. Alright. Pretty good so far. Still have the 1 round, right? Yeah, we do. Alright. We will need as much rounds as we can for the next section, because it's gonna be a big ol' showdown. We have the grenades, we have ample healing. We should be okay. Alright. I don't know why the perception sounds a little weird, but... Probably because I triggered the gas mask stuff during the load transition. I think that's what happened. Okay. So yeah, we have 4 rounds, 2 explosives, 3 mollies, because our inventory space is a little lacking. But we're carrying a guaranteed full heal, the rabbit toy, which we will need. So let's reorder our numbers according. So 1, 2, 3, and this is our primary. Oh, hello there, visual aid shotgun. I really appreciate you doing this again. Look at that buttstock. Nice. This is like the most amusing part of this, well, whatever the hell this is. Like, you ever seen a shotgun just do this? Yeah, the hearing sounds weird because of that audio bug that I probably purposefully triggered. Okay, but we do have everything. Let's just save. Might as well burn all the fuel. Burn meaning use, but... Maybe the endgame sequence is different if you have the generator active. I'm just thinking out of the box here. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but who knows? Need you, 1, 2. Alright. Power restored. Where's Pack-a-Punch? Oh, right. We need to save still. Silly me. Alright, cool. With all of our work done and the generator powered, full fuel, full speed ahead. Fuck. Now I know I didn't bring the flashlight for this section, but I promise you, we don't really need it. We don't need the flashlight because we have Mr. Rabbit here with us. Hello everybody, I'm Mr. Rabbit. So now we're in this big fuck off area that is actually really spacious and huge. Also, oh, look, a rock. Oh. Maybe I should hurry then. Welcome to the last sequence of the game, where you're faced off in an ultimate one-on-one showdown with the big bad of the game, your best fucking friend. It actually calls your name here, if you can tell. Let's try not to fall off. It would really suck if we did. We're all bolted like hell. I have an idea. I have to play living, while I have to recalculate the distance of that. So, plan 1 failed. That's okay. Now we're down to 1 grenade. Oh, I'm dead. I thought I curved it hard enough. So what do we do when our original plan doesn't work out? We try it again. All predators hunt by sound. If you want to kill, you must listen. Oh, well, I certainly heard that. You might be wondering, Alex, why are you bringing the handgun? I thought you said we didn't need it. And I'll show you why. It still has 1 round. 1 round capable of stunning him long enough to switch weapons. I tried doing this the peaceful way. I'll try it again the peaceful way because it's what works. But when that fails, we will stop at nothing to succeed. That's what I thought. Anyway. So now the place is coming down. We gotta get the flying fuck out of here. Ah. And we stole over a trusty shotgun. This makes me think that the Greeks were probably here before the French. Think about it, they look like Spartans. We're probably from Athens or some goofy stuff like that. And like that, we did it. A min-maxed run where we saved 2 soldiers, no matter what nationality they were, but we were able to atone for our sins and secure that this big bad won't hunt anymore because it was our problem that we caused. Oh, gross. He's ribbons. Oh, man. I imagine these were a lot of his friends. Now, oh. And that's how the game ends! No matter what your efforts were, the world around you was still at war. What a cruel twist of fate. However, I'm pretty sure his experience was traumatic enough that that's all he could remember. But he still has 2 things going for him. He still saved 2 people. Saved meaning left alive. In a theoretical scenario with that, you could probably bargain your way out by admitting, hey, in our bunker we got a German prisoner of war. I could show you to him as like a bargaining chip, provided that Henry knows German, but I don't know. That's like super creative, like different writing, creative writing at that point. But that's what I want to believe in, how he still made what looks like a really gritty game, a really harrowing experience into a positive one. And who knows? Maybe that same guy who's in that prison, that German soldier, maybe he grew up, or at least he got older and decided to do something amazing to give back because he was also trapped in that same experience. But who knows? I'm just thinking outside of the box here, but I genuinely adore this game because it holds a special place in my heart for remembering a bunch of things that I dealt with. It has helped me cope with a lot of trauma and has allowed me to come to terms with just everything. If you like this game, I strongly suggest you play for yourself. Otherwise, you'd be watching me do a min-max run, and I would be open to doing more iterations of the custom runs in future streams. But I at least wanted to showcase one playthrough of min-max run on my channel, talk about whatever the hell I want, and be upfront and authentic about it when I say that, yeah, I love my friends more than I ever loved myself. And this is what I get for trying to take care of them. I think the proportion of severity is different because everything that I've done stems from past prior experiences that no one else seemed to pay attention to. Now I'm forcing everyone to pay attention to it. And I'm moving on after I post this video. Because, shit man, I got better things to do. I got more video ideas coming up, more streaming ideas coming up, and more of a bunch of shit. The amazing retelling of experiences and stories in my way, because no matter how you spin it, those sequence of events were true. This is just my perspective about it. Florian has a funny last name. Any of my friends will laugh at that, otherwise it would just look really bad, but... Oh man. If you like this video, please leave a like. Comment down below your thoughts on how Henry probably could have gotten his way out of that one, out of the last sequence of events. And to those that have seen every episode, listened to every bit of detail, and seen the sequence of events, both gameplay and in my voice, I thank you quite deeply for giving me the time of day to listen. I have more planned. There's so much possibility that I see. I just needed to put my past to rest for good because my entire life was haunted by it. And so, I am reborn anew. and we will look at the stats. And as promised, this save file has unchanged custom settings. Like, it is the same save file as when we first started. Realistically, this entire save file took 6 hours. I have made 8 videos, including this one, on this. This was not 6 hours. But this was a culmination of a bunch of significant effort and creative thinking, showcased in a series of videos that I'm proud of. God damn. And I only died 6 times. Soon we will be able to do runs where it's a permadeath, all in one go, but this is good enough for me. This is enough for me. Want to save my progress, edit this video, and post it. I will click continue. As you recall, the same settings are still here. And one wild ride. Thank you everybody who was with me for the ride. There are many more videos to come. I will see you lads when I see you. Bye! I have no idea how to end the recording, so I'm probably just going to cut it off like that, so I don't know. Okay, bye!